Yo, what's up? Today, we're making a song like 4 Bats. And if you want exclusive content, vocal presets, and drum kits, you could join my patrons on Patreon. Nico Bennett, also known as 4 Bats, is an R&B singer and songwriter coming out of Dallas, Texas. And that's pretty much all the information we have about him. Bro just kinda materialized out of nowhere. But according to these two articles, growing up, 4 Bats was inspired by hip-hop artists like Chief Keef, DMX, and 50 Cent, and R&B artists like Jodeci, Sade, and Mint Condition, which made him start writing raps in his notebook when he was a teen. His grandma was pretty supportive of his poems and would encourage him to write more.
It's funny because even though it was negative, she would always put it together in a positive way. I'm like, Grandma, I'm talking about this nice man. But she would still call it a poem.
He went a long time without releasing any music, but after having his heart broken, he decided to release a string of music videos in November of 2023, and his career skyrocketed. His music videos and songs all garnered millions of views. He's had tons of support from major artists in the industry. He got a feature from Drake, teased a snippet with Ye, and had a major label bidding war that ended with him signing with OVO Records. Right now, 4 Bats is a fresh new voice in R&B and is taking the world by storm. And this is only his third song.
It's only my third day out here, I don't know.
4 Bats' melodies tend to have that low-key and moody sound that's pretty popular in modern R&B. It's got lots of chill-sounding filtered synths that are perfect for capturing a vibe, but not too distracting from his vocal performance. For my track, I played the main chord progression with flstudio's new plugin Kepler. I also added some more EQs, a reverb, and a vintage chorus effect. I also added kickstart for this cool warping effect. It adds a nice bit of rhythm to the sound. Next, I'm using this violin preset from Flex to play this simple top lead. I'm using Origin for some saturation, and a reverb and stereo shaper. And lastly, I'm playing a bass line using the synth bass from GMS. I know 4 Bats doesn't tend to use synth basses for his songs, but I don't know, I just thought it sounded good. The only effects on this was a sound goodizer and a small filter with an EQ. You're probably looking at this and wondering why are all the melodies bounced out into WAV files, and that's because I'm planning on speeding up and slowing down the beat so I can get an idea of what pitch I want to record in. To get your sounds to change pitch with the tempo, go up to Tools, Macros, and switch all audio clips to real-time stretching. You also want to make sure your tracks are on resample mode and not auto. It's a nifty little trick, and if you want to learn cool little tricks on the piano, you can learn more with Melodies. If you ever need lessons for your MIDI keyboard, Melodies is here to help. It's a desktop app designed to help you learn the piano and make you a better musician. Melodies has various courses for any level of piano proficiency, whether you're a complete novice learning the basics of the piano or a more seasoned player who wants to practice their motor skills. Melodies has a course for you. The courses are organized by different techniques you can practice, like two-handed melodies or bass line exercises, or you can search by genre and browse from classical, hip-hop, EDM, and everything in between. While I was working on this video, I wanted to get some practice in with some R&B music, so I did this R&B course to jog some ideas. While you're playing a lesson, Melodies will track your accuracy and timing, and give you feedback on what you need to work on. It's very fun and engaging, while also encouraging you to get better. And you could take all the techniques you learned and apply them to the Songs tab, where you can learn real songs from your favorite artists. Everything from classic artists like Marvin Gaye, to modern classics like Beyonce or Frank Ocean. And with the knowledge you gain from Melodies, you could use it outside of the app, like working on your own music, jamming out in a studio session, or even performing live. If you want to try it out, there's a link in the description. It is free to download. His drums tend to fit the typical style of modern R&B drums, with steady hi-hats and punchy but sparse kicks and snares. In songs like Act 1 and Act 3, he uses more acoustic live drum sounds, but for Act 2, it has a bit more of a trappy feel. For my song, I think I'm gonna go more with the trappy feel because I just love how Act 2 sounds. Yeah, you could say I'm more of a fan of his older music. I laid down these drums in FL, and it's a pretty simple pattern. To go along with the trap drums, I'm also going to use this cool little shaker loop. And lastly, I added this faster hi-hat loop for later sections of the song. I also added a little flanger effect to it. It sounds pretty nice. The only other thing I added was a cymbal as a transition sound. And here's the beat. I also pitched the beat down when I recorded it, so even though I made the beat at 140 BPM, I'm actually going to be recording in 130 BPM. It suited my voice better. Even though 4bats has the aesthetic of a drill rapper, his music portrays him as a certified lover boy. His songs talk about him being in love, confessing his feelings, and being an overall caring and doting person. He also likes to shower his loved one with gifts. I guess gift giving is his love language. His singing style is very tender and soft, and he uses lots of reverb and delay on his vocals. And his cadence is pretty simple and repetitive, but his melody lines create some very catchy earworms. His overall style is very reminiscent of 90s R&B singers, with that nice, suave, dreamy vibe. He also doesn't have that many background ad-libs or back vocals in his songs. His voice is pretty much front and center in his music. For my track, I kept the vocal plugins pretty no-nonsense. Maximus as a compressor, Fruity Limiter for peak reduction, a de-esser, Fresh Air to bring out some of the highs, an EQ to take out the deep lows, and a Fruity Limiter working as a noise gate. This is a pretty standard vocal chain I do just to make sure the vocals sound okay, and then we could dress it up with some other plugins, like Auto-Tune. I'm using Waves Tune Realtime for this because I like how responsive it is, but you can use whatever Auto-Tune plugin you have. I have the speed and the note transition pretty fast, but the way it snaps into key it still sounds pretty natural. It's not full T-Pain effect. Next, I'm adding some delay with Comeback Kid. I'm using some ping pong delay, and I have this ducking effect activated. It just perfectly catches the quiet parts of the vocal performance and fills up that empty space. And finally, I wanted that big spacey reverb sound that 4bats has in a few songs, especially Act 3. That song has immaculate engineering, and I just used Fruity Reverb with this size all the way up. Next, let's try to do his high-pitched singing voice. All I did was record my song in my normal singing range, and then I'm gonna pitch it up after.
Say you love me. Girl, you on my mind, can't take nothing from me. I'll hold you down, just say you trust me.
I thought about changing the pitch of my vocals in the project, but when I did that, it would mess with the auto-tune because the signal isn't in the right key anymore.
We buddy, just say you love me.
So I have to change it in post. Once I got my recorded song in a different project, I'm gonna automate the tempo of the project to start at 150 and then slow down to 120 for later. I've noticed that 4bats does this in a few songs as well, and I think it's pretty cool. It's like his songs are both the sped up and the slowed down versions all in one. Real talk. We can't really talk about 4bats without acknowledging the elephant in the room.
Industry plant.
Yes,
For sure,
I've been
for sure.
saying that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obvious.
Now hear me out. I don't want to downplay another artist's success, but after having a come up as monumental as he did, you can't say it doesn't look a little bit suspicious. And I know a lot of people are crediting his manager for putting him on and crafting most of his viral videos, and it does help that she's a creative director at RCA Records, but I don't think that makes him an industry plant. I just think he has a really good manager that's good at doing her job. I don't know. I don't think an artist should feel bad about utilizing the privileges they have. If you have an in, use it. Strike while the iron is hot. Because in an alternate universe, 4bats would just be a struggling artist releasing music in his bedroom, just like me. And whether or not he is an industry plant, his engineer is doing better work for him than any label can.
Baby, why you playing games? Baby, why you playing games? I buy you expensive things. Me and him, we not the same. Miss me, girl, just send a text. New heels and another dress. Look at me, you so impressed. Just get with me, your man's a mess. Oh yeah, I'm around. We buddy. Just say you love me. Girl, you on my mind, can't take nothing from me. I'll hold you down, just say you trust me. Girl, you on my mind, yeah, when I come around. We buddy, just say you love me. Girl, you on my mind, can't take nothing from me. Your man a clown, he up to something. Oh yeah.
Baby, why you playing games? Baby, why you playing games? I buy you expensive things. Me and him, we not the same. It's me, girl, just send a text. New heels and another dress.